Yo, what is going on, everybody? What's good? Welcome to another TTMS, guys. Hope you guys are doing good, bro. Listen, I got my Xbox cup here, some tea and honey, because my voice and my chest has been a bit rough for the past week or so. So let me have some tea, bro. But what's going on, Playboys? What is up? Hope you guys are doing good, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. What's going on, man? Listen, guys, we got so much news to talk about. So much news to talk about. So we'll get right into it in a bit, but before I do that, let me give a shout out to some of the homies in the chat. We got Byron Morse. What's going on, player? We got Amal Kafaji. We got Ray Ray. Real non-stop talent. T-Pain's in the chat as well. Michi Poo. Bunty. What up, playboy? We got the homie Doggy Dog 420. Who else do we have? We got Long Live the Black Mamba. I've not been to the doctors yet, bro. I've not been to the doctors, bro. I feel like I'm coming around slowly, bro. Bugsy 2180. What's going on, player? Hope you do well. Spartan 661, TTS killer, hitting the field goal. Blunts, what's going on? GMI is in the chat. Fred 420, what's going on, Playboy? We got Mr. Fernando, Dusty Turtle, Michi Poo, Kristen R, Crispy Rambo's in the chat. Chris 713, Deploy 619. What up, play? My cousin, my nephew, Akil Mahmood. What's going on, play? What's good? 4Q's in the chat. Twitterly Snake as well. Lord Chaos. Big Boy Mike. NYG. Man, what's going on, Playboy? One Trick Pony. The tea bag. Yorkshire tea bags, bro. Yorkshire Gold tea bags. There's no going back from once you have had Yorkshire Gold tea bags, there's no going back. We got who else? We got Isaac Hayes. What's up? Because what's good on Playboy? I'm good, bro. I hope you well. Section 8 gaming as well. Kendrick Star, Bobby Sings in the chat. Pokey Clowns 24/7. Dave Rizzy, what's up, player? Hope you well. Suffer the pain as well. Boss Red 77, Zinks in the chat as well. Amit Kumar as well. Quick, the Hudu Kanuk, aka. What's going on? Let me keep scrolling down. We got Money GL 2814. What's going on, player? P Lump, what's up, Playboy? What's up? HBD Films, what's up? So OC615, what's good, player? Max in the chat. Drone TJ, Chris Simmons out there. Let me tell you something about Chris Simmons. Chris Simmons always out there. When I look on Facebook, when I look on Twitter, this POS is always cooking something on the barbecue, in a barrel. I don't know what the hell Chris Simmons be cooking. He be cooking like Chris Simmons, that type of dude that if the kind of the world ended or some shit and you have to live like the old ways, Chris Simmons will able to cook anything out of anything. That's who Chris Simmons is. But shout out to him. He's one of the OGs. Giggy T08 as well. Game Shark as well. What's good? We got the homie Web Dave in the chat. Shout out to Web Dave, man. Web Dave. I know the news is negative. I'll talk to him about this. I'm one of them guys when I talk to the Web Dave. When we break records, I always wanted to be more about Xbox being in a positive light. When it comes to the negative light, people are gonna break records on the day because obviously you're gonna get people trying to clip you. The pony's gonna come and talk that shit. I've always said this to the I said it to Web as well. When I want to break records, or when you want to break records, you want to break it when it's something good about Xbox or just good in general. But when it's a negative news, everybody comes around, bro. You know what's up, man. Crispy Rambo, what's good? Web Dave, I'm good, bro. Wilfrey, what's up, player? Aaron, what's up? Now, before I get into it, let me give a shout out to Isaac Hayes 85 for becoming a TTS member. Shout out to you, bro. And use them emojis, player. We got Drone TJ member for 4 months, player. Did you see me destroy Tim? I mean, Fraud Dog. Oh, shit. Come on, Playboy. I know Tim is wild out there, bro, at the moment. But Tim is the homie, but he is wild out there at the moment. Rated member for 18 months, bro. War paint is on, ready for war. Anybody can get it. 10 toes down, and I'm standing on business, player. Talk that shit, player. Talk. Bane, what's going on, player? Justin Boardram, what's going on? Now, before we get into it, let me just have some more tea. 1 second, guys. Dog 50, Mark 2016. What's good, player? What's good? Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Let's get into it, guys. Let's go for it. Let me start with the first topic. What is it now? 6 minutes. Let's go. Now, guys, you know, the rumors has been going around for a minute. General Spartan, what's good? The rumors has been going around for a minute, guys. For a minute. And I'll say this. You know, like I've been hearing this for a minute. Some games may be going, some games might like I was these are rumors. So obviously we don't really trying to go full on rumors. We just been hearing hearsay. And as time has been going on, more and more information has been coming out. And then we heard like one of the main things I've heard, regardless of that Starfield stuff afterwards. I know a lot of other people talked about that. But I remember people were saying, let me change this light up. Let me change this light up. There we go. Regardless what's going on, Stanley Francis, what's going on, player? THX, what's good? Mr. FU, what's good? 4Q member, shout out to you, Playboy, for becoming a member, bro. And I hope you're doing good, bro. I hope you're doing good, man. Now, this is what I was talking about. When you be hearing this information, you think, right, it is what it is. But when more and more people start like reporting on it, and one of the main rumors were, if you remember this, regardless of the Starfield stuff, they were talking about Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves coming to the other platforms. They were talking about Hi-Fi Rush may make his way to the Nintendo Switch. If you remember this, guys, and as time has gone on, it seemed to have gone worse and worse and worse. And I'll say this, like before we get into it, end of the day, when these rumors come out, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But as time goes on and goes on and goes on, you think, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is something going on? Because you know, like when they have them, when they had them shareholders meet and they talk, like Tim Stewart's talking about, we want to put our games in other places, and we said, oh, them are the ABK games, and these are the CFOs talking about. And I remember listening to the court documents, and I remember, Ray, what are you talking about? Did Sean? I did read your super chat, bro. I read it, Ray. And I remember like Tim Stewart's talking about we want to put our games in more places. I remember the court cases when Sarti Nadella said that, oh yeah, I don't get exclusive, but I understand why we have exclusive. No doubt. That's the whole point of it. He doesn't like it, but he kind of understands because the competition, your competitor has exclusive games locked to the box. This is where we have a problem right now. We know exclusive matter, especially to the ecosystem. And I know Xbox has got the games on PC. I know that. But when it comes to the console space, this is what we're talking about. And I'm sure Sarti understood that. But at the end of the day, these guys are money guys. And then when rumors start coming out more and more, and I felt like it got worse and worse. People start saying Gears of War is coming right now. Starfield is coming right now. Forza Horizon 5 may be coming right now. Yeah, Web Dave. Shout out to Web Dave and the Gamers Councils. Make sure you subscribe to the homies Web Dave and Referee and that. Shout out to them Playboys, bro. Yeah, I only wear certain t-shirts for the shows, bro. When I start hearing this news, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Like, what is this? Everybody's all of a sudden coming. This game is coming. This game is coming. That game is coming. Let me change this up. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Is the whole slate coming to the to other platforms? Like, what is going on? Why all of a sudden games like Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves, and I was not happy with them games even going to another platform. Regardless what happens, I'm still not happy with that shit. If that did happen for some reason, but when it start going beyond that, when it start going towards Forza Horizon 5, hell, people said even Hellblade. I think Tom Warden or someone talked about Hellblade and these guys. I'm like, all of a sudden, all of the media guys is piling on with this shit. If a lot of these media guys had the information about a week or 2 weeks ago, why didn't nobody report it early? Why was it like reset error? Talking about Hi-Fi Rush may be coming to other platforms. This is what I'm talking about. I'm like, what's going on with the media? Like, if you have this information, if I'm a media site, I need the clicks. I'm running a website. I want to be the first one to hit it out of the park to get them clicks. No doubt, I'm sure if any of you guys in the chat is running a media site and how you make money is from getting clicks and people clicking onto the website and talking about it, sharing about, right, this X person's talking about this game is coming to this platform, to other platforms. Xbox is taking away the exclusive. People will want that engagement. I'm talking about the hype, guys. But all of a sudden, they're all piling on. This is what we're talking about. Like, I'm like, what is going on exactly? No doubt. I'm like what? And I'm sure you guys were the same, like confused, like what is going on? But like all of a sudden, from Hi-Fi Rush, it's all the games. People, it got to a point where they said Halo Infinite or the Halo Master Chief Collection will be coming to other platforms. I'm like, yo, if this is really happening, we need the answers then. We need answers. Now, when all of this information was coming out, piling on, I remember last year. Do you remember when Tim Stewart was talking? I know I should have mentioned this earlier. Do you remember when Tim Stewart was talking about where we want to put our games everywhere? You know, them are the money guys talking that shit. Phil Spencer came and addressed that issue. That we don't have any plans. Jez Corden talked about this. We don't have any plans putting our games on other platforms besides the ones that are available on platforms like Minecraft, maybe the Call of Duty games, so on and so on and so on. So, sorry guys, my chest is killing me. So this is what I was talking about. Now, when this all piled on, Phil Spencer, like a lot of the people be saying, listen, you need to like neutralize this because a lot of people are talking about this. What is going on with Xbox? What is exactly happening with Xbox? We need to know. And as time went on, when everything piled on, this game is coming, that game is coming, the Forza Horizon is coming, this is coming. I'm like, yo, Xbox, something needs to be said. Now, before I get to that, what I'm talking about, let me get the homie Jay Rembo for 5 with a 5. You know what pisses me off? The game media is basically cheering the whole thing on player. Shaking my head. Yeah, you know what it is, Jay Rembo? I'll tell you what it is. We know the media, majority of the media, they don't care about Xbox like that. You had the media guys coming out talking about, I want to play Starfield on my PlayStation. I want to play this game on my PlayStation. Phil Spencer robbed us when he took games from ZeniMax and put them exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. Everybody I've seen them media sites talking about that. They don't fuck with Xbox like that. It's only as hardcore guys mess about with Xbox. Straight up. The media guys want to play this shit on their beloved PlayStation. Because that's what they know. That's what it is, bro. Why so serious with the two? Take care of yourself, Sean. We lost enough bots. Oh no, worries, bro. Look, I had my tea. I got my water as well, bro, just in case my chest goes a bit funny again. Now, Phil Spencer came out and talked about this, and I will say this. This is a tweet he put out. Let me pull it up. Let's see if this works on this new. There we go. Yeah, it works. It works pretty good. This one. After all of that crazy shit, what's going on? Phil Spencer came and goes, "Listen, we hear you. We are listening. We are planning a business update, an event for next week, where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." Now, guys, I would say this is what needed to happen, because the way the media like piled on this and everybody piled on this, it was getting out of control, and you have to control this shit, because half of the shit might not even be legit. Is it possible now? One or two things might be legit. It's possible. One or two things might be legit, but when someone has an opportunity that if every single game is going to be going, and you get the media guys talking about this game is coming, that game is coming, what are people going to say? What are the casuals going to be looking at? When you look at the casual, and when you look at was it like IGN, GameSpot, the casuals will look at IGN's headline, and what will they say? Well, that's it. I don't need to get an Xbox if Indiana Jones is coming to the PlayStation day one. Why do I need an Xbox for? The casuals won't be looking into TTS. The casual won't be looking into WBG or the Gaming Council podcast. When they see the headline from IGN, GameSpot, the bigger websites, what will they say? What will they see? Well, oh yeah, Starfield's coming to PlayStation. Who needs it? Oh, Forza Horizon. That game looks incredible. I wanted to play that on my PlayStation. What's gonna happen? The casuals or the people that don't know the information, the inside information, or not in the console space on Twitter like this, what's gonna happen? They're gonna look at this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play that game on my PlayStation. Now this shit needs to be addressed. Now I'll say this. Let me add my shit to this. I would say there's a possibility there might have been some games. Because if everybody remembers, when it came to the ZeniMax stuff, I know Phil did say case by case. That's what he said. So he kind of left it a bit open. And he did say that if you want to play these games, you got to play where Game Pass exists. That's what he said. That's what he talked about when it came to the round table. If you want to play these games, it'll be a case by case, or wherever Game Pass exists, that's where you can play these games. Now, I would say this. Certain games like Hi-Fi Rush, I felt like that was a possibility. I felt like that might be a possibility because that was the only game that was coming out of this. And it could still be a possibility. I'm going to get to that, guys. I'll go maybe 1 or 2 games will slip through. Because you know they acquired ABK. Or maybe the ABK games, every single game from that publisher will remain multi-platform. That might be the information. That might be all of the games of ABK going to the other platforms. That's what it might be. We don't know the information. And I'm glad Phil Spencer came out and said, listen, we will talk about our future for the Xbox. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and you guys have seen this, no doubt, who knows what's going to happen next week. But the thing I want to talk about is the way that people went around it. And I'm not talking about the people like voice their concerns. You look at me, guys. Let me stop sharing this. You look at me. When I was on Twitter, some of you guys on Twitter with me, what was I doing? When I heard certain things, all I did, with respect, I wasn't disrespecting anyone. I wasn't going overboard, saying, fuck you, Xbox, fuck you this, F you this. None of that. I was tagging Salty Nadella, Tim Stewart, telling them that Xbox man, I know I was doing funny clips, but I was telling them exclusive does matter. If this is going to be something that you're looking into, just in case, there's no doubt you should voice your opinion, but you got to be respectful, and you got to keep it within, like, you don't go overboard, like you're going crazy, like you look like a lunatic. That's a bit of a different fish. That is when you go to that level, talking about I'm doing this, I'm doing that, F this, F that. Let me get a new banner. Then like, wait for the information to come out. I'm not saying that. For example, who remembers when the Xbox Live price goal was going up? Who remembers that? What did we do when that information came about the Xbox Live price goal going up? Everybody on Twitter, including myself, said this is not a good move. This does not look good for Xbox. If your competitor is cheaper than you or keeping the price kind of locked, you can't double the price. And what did Xbox do? They reversed that. That's what I'm talking about. If there's any chance there was a possibility something like Hi-Fi Rush was going to Nintendo Switch, what's your concern on Twitter? But keep it civil. That's what I will say. Keep it civilized. Tag Sartinadilla, tag Phil Spencer. Phil, let us know what's going on. If this is not looking good, why is Hi-Fi Rush when the other competitor have exclusive games? Why is games like that going to other platforms? If these rumors are true, come and address it. Phil came out with a tweet and is going to address it next week. Wherever the information comes out, we'll find out next week. That's all we can do. But going overboard, that's a different level. Going to a point where you're saying, like, imagine me, TTS, fuck this, I'm changing my banner. Give me a PlayStation banner. Give me a PlayStation t-shirt. Give me a PlayStation cap. It's over for me. That's what I'm talking about. That's the level they're taking it to. And that's where I see a problem. People can be pissed if all of this was coming on, all the slate was coming, according to the media guys and people kind of hearing inside information. I heard shit, but I don't know if the whole slate is coming. That's what we're talking about here. Tag Sartin Diller, tag Phil Spencer, tag Aaron Greenberg, and let them know that, listen, if the PlayStation's having exclusive games, why can't we? That's what I'm talking about. Tag them and leave it as that. Don't go on a fucking 1 week bender. Go on a 1 week bender talking shit every single day. Talk about it for a day or two, or keep it kind of civilized to a point where you're putting your voice out there and you're letting people know that, listen, we don't like this. If it's a possibility that Hi-Fi Rush or maybe any other games, even Sea of Thieves, guys, and I don't give a shit about that game. Honestly, like Sea of Thieves, I don't care. That's what I'm talking about. Don't let these games go to the other platform unless you're getting something back. Fair plays. If you're getting something out of it, then it's a different. That's a different ball game. But if you're getting nothing out of it, that's when a lot of the homies in the chat, we'll have a problem with that shit. Now let me get this super chats before I continue. Shout out to the homie Chris7134 for becoming a TTS member. Salute to you, Playboy, and use them emojis, man. THX with a 5. All these pony sites are throwing shit bags at the door, Xbox door, to stop any PlayStation dude from buying an Xbox to play ZeniMax game, Bethesda games, Award, Hellblade, and many, many more. Do you know what THX? You might have a good. That's what I'm talking about. When I talk about the media guys, the media sites, they have a lot of influence on the normal people that want to come into the ecosystem. When there's a certain game like Indiana Jones, you heard it from that John Campion show. What did he say? Why can't I play Indiana Jones on my PlayStation 5? I want to play my PlayStation 5. You remember that clip? I didn't make that shit up. What did I have to do? Either play on PC in the Xbox ecosystem or get yourself an Xbox. But when the media guys are coming out, the big ones I'm talking about, and saying this game is coming to PlayStation, what's gonna happen? They're gonna say, "Oh, that's good. I can wait." And we don't want that shit. Let me have some water, bro. My chest is a bit killing me. Smitty Smith with a 10. I don't know Smitty Smith has been talking that shit. Keep it, bro. What's good, Sean and chat, man? F all of these bitches. Insiders like Jez, Paris, Lily, Paul Tassi, Reforged Gaming, Ryan McCaffrey, and the other POSs, they don't know shit. The Book of X. Talk that shit, Playboy. Talk that shit. Long live the Black Mamba with a 2. What's going on, Playboy? Because the truth is, gaming media and the neutral want Xbox to die. You know, long live the Black Mamba. That's a great point. What's going on, Zena? Mark Smith, Blade, what's going on? Taylor Parker, Chia Walker, what's up, player? Yeah, Chia Walker needed some break because he was getting tired. He was getting frustrated with all of the shit that was happening. Now, let me get back to this. The main thing I'm talking about. Like I said once again, if there was a possibility, when we heard about Hi-Fi Rush, we said these are rumors, but all I would say is go on Twitter and tag the guys. Say, listen, if this is legit, if this is happening, let us know. We don't like it because Xbox deserves exclusives. Just like when PlayStation deserves exclusive, Nintendo Switch deserves exclusive games. That's all you do. But like when you guys are seeing every single minute, every single hour, This is that. Xbox is this. Xbox is that. That's when you get like, come on, man. You made your point. Phil Spencer's put a tweet out there. Let's see what's gonna go down. If Phil Spencer comes out next week and says, right, this is our plan. We'll be dropping games day one, but 6 months later, 12 months later, these type of games will be going to the other platforms. That's when we can call them out and say, listen, you're taking a piss here. You're taking a piss. Unless you're getting something back from PlayStation, you're taking a piss. Whatever happens next week, we will address it 100%. And if something else happens after that, what we will do, we will we'll put our voice out there and talk about, listen, we don't like this. Why are you doing this for? Make it make sense. When your competitors ain't doing it, make it make sense. Now, Taylor Parker, that's what I'm talking about. This could be all about the ABK games. And do you know what? It is what it is. And why so serious? I'm glad you brought up. It's the way sometimes it's the way you word it as well. If it's the way you word it as well, sometimes these big execs will come out and talk about whether we can put our games in more places. What happens? People run with that shit. Yeah, like Shizno, I think the ABK stuff is gonna be 100% multiplat. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but it looks like ABK is gonna remain 100% multiplat. I'm not sure what's gonna happen if the day one game's gonna come to Game Pass. People have said, "Oh, Call of Duty may not drop in Game Pass." I got no idea. Honestly, I got no idea. But the first problem is what they're gonna address next week. What is Phil Spencer and his team's gonna be talking about? That's all I gotta say. I will say this though. Next week, with people watching up, because like us guys in the chat, we talked about this. Guys, we don't like this. We left it as that. Phil, Sartin Nadella, Tim Stewart, if any of this is real, if Hi-Fi Rush is going or any other game is going to another platform, we don't like it and we won't be happy. What happened after that? Phil Spencer's come out. Once Phil Spencer addresses it on Monday or Tuesday, whenever, then we can talk about it. That's what I'll say. Now, I want to pull something up. 1 second before I continue. What is this? I'm looking for one thing before I go. See, let me pull this up before I continue. What's going on, Boss Red? Josh Moore, what's going on, Playboy? What's up? Where is this one here? Will this pop up here? What's going on, Ray? Dr. Xbox, what's going on? He goes, ponies ain't shit. Talk that shit. Mark Smith, Game Pass is the future. And talking about Game Pass, none of us, every single one of us knew about this, that the prices will increase. Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass will increase in price. We know this. The more you put more money into it, the more you fucking gonna the more investment you put into Game Pass, the more it goes up. We've seen it with all services: Netflix, Amazon, Apple, you name it. No doubt. Now, this is what I want to talk about. When this started, they were talking about Hi-Fi Rush. You know what I mean? It looks like it's gonna be one of the first games that go into the PlayStation 5 or Nintendo Switch. I was like, you know what? What's going on, Steven? What's going on, Ben? Victor Bernard, what's going on? When you look at this here, you hear certain things, right? This is no good. Hi-Fi Rush, I don't care how small of a game is it. I don't want to see I do not want to see that game going to any other platform. I don't give a shit if it goes to Nintendo. I don't want it to go to Nintendo Switch. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. We'll find out next week. Luis Frag, what's going on, player? What's good? Big boy Mike, what's good? When they were talking about Hi-Fi Rush or Sea of Thieves, this is where I'm talking. This is the two games I'm talking about. I'm gonna say this, guys. It might be possible that Hi-Fi Rush or the I'm gonna tell you this, guys. Hi-Fi Rush might still go to other platforms. Who knows right now? Because that was one of the first games that people were talking about. Even though it came from Reset Era, all of these rumors, then all of these guys came and talked about it. But when we were talking about this is not good on Twitter, talking about this ain't good. If any of the games go to the other platforms, we don't like this. It needs to get addressed. Next week we will find out next week, and we will find out. We'll see what happens exactly. Is it possible that one or two games might slip? I don't know, guys. I don't know. And Shizno Ali, this is what I'm talking about here. Shizno, it's the whining. When it just keeps going and going and going, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And I'm sure you guys will have, like, I've been putting tweets out. You guys have said, Sean, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm just keeping it basic. Saying to Salt here, Phil Spencer and these guys, what's going on? If this is going to happen, let us know we don't like it. If you're going to reverse this, reverse this. And let's see what happens on Monday. I want to see, I'm actually excited to see what's going to go down. Because when you see people like talked about this and all of a sudden something has changed, something has reversed, or people are getting tweets or messages saying that Microsoft has done a 180. Or is it the media guys doing a 180 right now? Who knows what's going on? Shizdo, do you understand what I mean? The irritating part, that's what it is. Talking about, I'm telling you, every single one of you guys, if something like of Monday, for example, say something just happened like this. Microsoft announced that 12 months later, Starfield's going to be going to PlayStation. Just let's say if that did happen. On Twitter, raise your voices. Raise your voices. If they came out and said, you know what, every 12 months, our games are going to the other platforms. Raise your voices on Twitter. Tag them all, say, this is bullshit. We don't like this. The best way to do it. The best way to do it. Once it's official, once you can see if that someone has said it, if the tweet's there, if the messaging's there, tell them straight up, we don't like this shit. I will say, I don't like this shit. If it was 100% confirmed that something is going down, some games may be going to other platforms, I would say we don't like it. Unless you get something in return. That's the best way I'll say it. But don't go on a fucking binge, whining and whining and whining, doing it every single day, every single minute, talking about this and talking about that. That's when that's what a lot of the guys in the chat get pissed off. I'm like, okay, you made your point, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Where's that Luca clip? You made your point on Twitter. Now, I only got one thing to say to you.
Shut the fuck up.
You made your point. Simple. No doubt. Let me get the homie NYG, man. What's going on, Playboy with a 10? Sean, these weak jellyback fake Xbox fans are the worst. Why get so emotional over a rumor? Most men, bro, they're not men. Most men aren't emotionally. Wait until Uncle Phil says so. Hold the line. Bloodbath 2024. Act like it. Talk that shit, Playboy. Talk that shit. Do you know what? I want to talk about that 1 second. The angry MD with the 5. If Xbox games go to other platforms, I'm okay with it. If Microsoft would allow Steam on Xbox, that way I know I could play PlayStation games on my Xbox. Yo, that'll be something crazy, damn it? Imagine that, MD. How crazy would that be? That would be insane, bro. I'm saying my chest is killing me, man. I would say this though. You know, let me put my shades on now. You know my shit talking's happening right now. Let me put my shades on. You know when this shit goes down, bro, it's going down. Like I said, my homies, no matter what happens, next week or this week, we will be real Xbox fans. We will voice our opinion on Twitter. whatever goes down. But like I said, we will stand our ground. If one of us falls, now listen to me very carefully, guys. If one of us falls, we might, even though we stand on our ground, we might have to take a hit or 2 hits. Let me repeat that. We might have to take a hit or 2 hits. Not 2 hits, 2 hits. And what we will do? What will we do? Together, we will help each other out. We will stand our ground. And together, we will rise. You know, I love saying that bullshit. But that's what I'll say. We might have to take a hit or 2. That's about it. But talk that shit, guys. I will say this, and I said this on WBG. What happens next week? We're still gonna be Xbox fans, bro. We've been an Xbox gamer since fucking the Xbox launched in the UK. It became available in 2002. Bro, I've been there from 2002, guys. Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the series consoles. We built a community, friends, digital library, guys. You're gonna leave all that behind? People are full of shit sometimes. People have got like thousands of games and saying, "Oh, I'm leaving the ecosystem." Like, are you for real? Like, I'm sure majority of people who put money into the ecosystem, this is talking shit. Maybe they want clicks. Maybe they are really pissed off because they heard something. I don't know. But as long as there's like an Xbox out there, a console, my nose is getting blocked, man. As long as there's an Xbox out there, a console, because a lot of the ponies said 2027 is over. We've been hearing certain things that 2026 they're gonna start next gen again. It's gonna be crazy, bro. As long as there's an Xbox out there, either you play on PC or if you're a console gamer, play on console. That's why I've got a decent gaming rig here, but I play on console, no doubt. Let me just read this super chat because I want to pull something up right now. Jonas Sudan, member for 9 months. Shout out to you, Playboy. In Phil we trust. Until shown otherwise, TTS Playboy. Yeah, until next week, we will find out what the plans is. And if the plans are shit, we will call them out. If the plans are great, we will continue to talk that shit. Eric B, no matter what happens, we will never bleed blue. Facts, bro. Facts. People are talking about they want Xbox to be gone because Xbox, or they might put the games on other platforms, the competitors. We see how that plays out, but the biggest one is about Xbox is leaving the console space. Leaving the console space. Really? After all of the information, after talking about 2026, 2027, they might launch a new console. Well, multiple consoles. That's crazy, bro. Now, I want to show you something, guys. This was on... where is this shit? This was on... Let me switch this up. Let me make this a timestamp. 29. Now, this was on... what's going on, Manny? What's going... MNC, don't worry, we'll have something for Friday, bro. John Wolf, what's going on, Playboy? I'm okay. My chest is a bit rough. That's it, bro. It's been pissing me off, bro. My chest, even with my wife and kids, bro. We all got this chest infection or it's all this shit, bro. It's pissing me off, bro. Pissing me off. But we'll get there. Let me talk about this here. Let me pull this up. What is this? I'm sure you guys can see it. This is from Clint Eastwood podcast, and he got a message or something talking about it's not what you think it's going to be. Let's listen to it, and I think they talk about something else as well.
I sit on Netflix and I scroll and I scroll and I scroll until I find something that I want, right? That's not necessarily a great thing, right? So that's why like day and date stuff it's not attractive to like a lot of people. Colt, are you okay?
Yeah, I got a DM right before the show started. I wish I would have read. I'm not going to say who it's from, okay? Because I want to keep this Next week will be better. Laugh out loud. Don't believe everything you've read! Exclamation point. When
Every
I
time you
talk
say
about
read-
people that I trust, I'm talking about someone that we have 1,400 people here watching. Yeah. I'm
You
going to read
forgot.
it again because Phil said we're going to talk about it next week. And I hear you. I hear you.
We hear you.
Next
Yeah,
week
exactly.
will be better. Laugh out loud. Oh, I said, sleep well. What a crappy week. And he said, next week will be, he or she, you know, next
Not
week will be
judging,
better.
yeah.
Laugh out loud. Don't
Okay,
believe everything
true.
you've read! Exclamation point.
Let's talk about it now. Regardless if the message is real, fake, whatever you want to call it, you've seen a lot of people right now, media, Xbox podcasters as well, talking about don't believe. Well, when they were talking about certain games going to be going to other platforms, now they're talking about is don't believe everything you've seen on Twitter right now. It's like, see, this is a difficult one. When you have information, I've had some information. Like Dirt would back me up on this. I've had some information, but obviously there's still rumors. I can't fucking. I haven't got concrete evidence. But I say I won't put it out there. What's going on, Mav? What's good? I won't put it out there because I'm not 100% sure. It could be. It's rumors. It's from someone's cousin. I got no fucking idea, bro. It's a difficult one because this could be plans. This could be plans a couple of months ago, and then as of right now, like what Colt is talking about, if something has happened a week or 2 weeks ago, it changes, and what happens? It makes yourself look like a dick. I'm not saying Colt is the dick or something, but I'm saying when you put information out there, when you put information out there, and then you gotta like kind of backtrack, what's gonna happen? You make yourself look like a dick. You know that, guys. That's what's gonna happen. When you want to be the first out there, if you're the media guys, whoever you want to be, when you put that information out there, and then you talking about it, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. You got multiple tweets, multiple videos out there talking about this is what Xbox is gonna do. Then all of a sudden, you switch up again. People are gonna think you're full of shit. Honestly, that's what's gonna happen, ain't it? People will say you're full of shit, guys. 1 week you're saying this, next week you're saying this. Shout out to the homie Rap Dave. Thanks. I appreciate it, Rap Dave. I just send the message now, bro. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you're not 100% certain, unless the source is concrete, if you're saying one thing, then all of a sudden you're saying something else a couple of hours later or a couple of weeks later, it kind of makes you look like a dick. And that's what's gonna happen. Mav, what's going on, Playboy? Illegal Dad, what's good? The angry MD with a 10. Sony sounding a lot like Phil. Wonder if they went to Phil and was like, yo, we need help with our numbers with Spider-Man. If our games will go there, we need their games to come over here. Yeah, we need their games to come over here. 100%. Like MD, no doubt we will find out what's going to go on. If any of this was legit, they'll probably backtrack on it. Who knows what's going to happen? If people are getting message, if the media guys were getting message right now, as of like 2 days ago, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. If they're backtracking, if they're reversing it, or if any of this was real. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows? We don't know, bro. THX with a 1-1. What's going on? Player with a 5. Being an Xbox fan since the 2001 launch in the US. That's in the US, Playboy. I was a Sega fan with a Sega Dreamcast. I was there too as well, bro, because they look familiar. Same games, A, B, X, Y. The controllers had that same kind of offset, all that bullshit. You know? Do you know what I mean? Dreamcast, then Sony killed it, and I jumped to Xbox. Never looked back. Xbox for life, bro. Talk that shit, Playboy. THX, a lot of people, including myself, that's how we became bots. When the Sega Dreamcast, like, you know, my favorite game is Shenmue. Like, one of my favorite games ever is Shenmue. Number 2, like the series 1 and 2. Part 3 was mid, but that was the game for me, bro. Sega Dreamcast was incredible. When I got to see that console for the first time, and I got to see it playing at, was it 1 second, playing at the local game, I was blown away from the Sega Dreamcast. It was incredible. Mogsy, what's going on, Playboy? But that's what it was. A lot of people from the Sega Dreamcast to the Xbox, they made that transition. And I was one of them guys who made that transition. And when I seen similar games like on the Xbox, I go, this is home. And what they did with the hard drive, the online, the way you can modify the console, it was incredible. The Angry MD with the 5 what's going on player. Max have rather have PlayStation and Nintendo stick with them than fighting with Apple and Amazon. You know, that's the console space, because if a giant comes in, it's difficult. I don't feel like Apple will ever come in because they're making good money on the arcade side. But I understand where you're coming from, bro. Like when it comes to the console space, keep it like there. Keep it between you three guys. So we'll see how that plays out. Black Mamba with the 5, man. What's going on, play? Each and every last rumor this year was blown out of proportion for clout. Each initial report said some games, but no names, and all of the sources were fake. All of the sources, yeah. That's what I was talking about, like Black Mamba. You can come out, and that could be all news. That could be a possibility that they might have considered. And then, obviously, when you get a tweet or when you hear something new, it makes you look like a shitbag because you said one thing last week, and then today you're saying something else. And that's what we're talking about, bro. Sometimes it's best not saying anything on your podcast or on Twitter. Just tag someone, say, I've heard this. I hope it's not real. Because a lot of the Xbox fans, including myself, would not like this if Starfield is going to the other platforms. That's how you say it, bro. That's the best way to say it. Drone TJ with the 5. Hey, bro, you should have Web, Dave, and Mav and New Legal on right now and get their thoughts on this BS. Do you know what? If Mav is still in the chat, Web Dave, if they want to come on and voice their opinion because they got more information recently, I'm all for it, bro. I'm not sure if Web Dave is working, Mav is working. Let them know, bro. Let them know. Yeah, Diplo, that's the best way to do it, bro. Like, if I heard something and is building up, you know, Mav, Mav, send me a DM, bro. Send me a DM. Let me pull this up 1 second. Let me say I could pull it up quick. I found it. I got you, Mav. 1 second, bro. I got you. At least Mav can help me out because my chest is killing me, bro. So we don't need 1K, bro. We want Clutch, man. We don't need 1K here, bro. I want the real homies here. I'm one of them dudes, bro. That I want the real dudes here, bro. I don't want people to come because it's a negative Xbox news. Let's see what these bots are crying over bullshit. Nah, I'm not into that bullshit. I want the real dudes here, bro. The POSs. That's the best way I would say, guys. When you get information, just put it out there and don't keep ranting about it. That's when people get pissed off. Why so serious? 100%. I'm not into that bullshit, bro. I want the real homies here. If it's positive news, let's go. Now we got the killer, the one and only. He was out there on Twitter, did a funny music track. I looked at it, I go, Mav. You know the pony's gonna run with that shit. They're gonna clip you and make that into a funny stuff, even though it was meant to be funny. But what's going on, Playboy?
Nothing much, man. Just living in another day of this fucking crazy world, man. It's chaos out there. It's absolute paranoia. People reaching for the furthest worst case scenario, and all of a sudden one rumor means every game is going third party, consoles aren't going to exist, my digital library is no longer going to exist, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, so let's find out what's actually happening before we start burning our Xboxes to the ground. You know what I mean? It's like it's just nuts, dude. I don't understand. Like I understand people like being emotionally invested, right? I understand people being upset if they think and being concerned about certain things, right? But I don't understand jumping to the worst case scenario based on rumors from just certain people, and that even those rumors are unclear right now because you have mixed messaging even from the same people who were leaking a lot of this stuff, right? All of a sudden, like, hey, I got this trusted source that's telling us this information. Yeah, then later it's like, oh, I got this trusted source that says it's not so bad. So, like, which trusted source are we supposed to trust? So that's confusing. You got people walking back things. You got people saying no, there's no walking back. Like, to be honest, we don't know shit right now.
You know,
Now,
Matt, before
like,
you
at
continue,
all.
can you get this super chat, bro?
Yeah, let me get it real quick. Um, Shinzo86 with $2 says it's strategy. Read the book, The Art of War. Yeah.
So
So
this is the playbook, bro. You might be
Mhm.
right, but shout out to you, Playboy. Sorry, my chest is gone, man.
You getting sick?
I've been sick for a week, bro.
Oh, damn.
So I'm hoping I'm just one of them. Now, Mav, this is what I'm saying. Let's say if Hi-Fi Rush was the real deal, it was coming to other platforms.
Yeah,
Let's say
I
that gets
believe it
announced.
probably is because
Yeah,
even like Tom
it
Moore and
probably
other
is.
people says it's imminent.
I just want to put that out there because that was kind of the main rumor first, one of the main ones.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush. Let's stick to that. Yeah, Jinzo, don't worry about it, bro. We always get the super chats. Just building stuff up, bro. Before we get into it, let me give a shout out to the homie Web Dave. What's going on, Playboy?
What's up, man? Hey, Mav, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, dude? How's it going, man?
Great show last night, by the way,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
as always.
You know, like before we get into it, Web, let me just this is what I'm talking about. Let's just say, for the sake of it, Hi-Fi Rush is coming to other platforms because that was one of the first games that people were talking about. And let's say that's the only game that comes next week, and the rest is kind of reversed. Whatever you want to call it, let's just run with all of the rumors, what's been going on, the information's out there. Let's just go with it at the moment. Like, Mav, Hi-Fi Rush, I still don't like it going to other platforms, and I'm sure you and Web would agree.
Yeah.
100%.
For me, like, here's the thing. I understand, like, I don't think it's good for Xbox's business. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it's like, okay, they have all these assets that they can use now that I feel like they're giving up a little bit potentially to a little early. Now because they just acquired all these things. They've had a lot of delays in a lot of the games. They've had all this stuff. So use all these assets to build up what you've already said you're giving up on, that console race, right? So I think there's potential there that they don't see or that they don't believe in, and I think that's a mistake, right? However, for me personally, I'm not emotional about that stuff.
Mm.
Like, because I am like, my experience personally doesn't change, right? I'm still going to play my same games on my same Xbox and get my same games coming to Game Pass and all that kind of stuff. But people are going so crazy with this stuff and freaking out about it. They would rather, and this was a poll that was going on, right? They would rather Xbox take away games day and date from Game Pass and give us less value than other games go to other places. What actually affects me as a consumer is that do I not want all these games coming to Game Pass day one, all these studios that they've acquired, all these other things? But now Xbox fans are actually advocating on social media for Xbox to charge us more simply so Hi-Fi Rush doesn't go on a Switch. For me, that's like a crazy reach that, as just from a consumer perspective and my wallet and my investment in what I am experiencing from my experience, why would I want to pay more just so somebody else can't play a game? Right now, business wise, I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Xbox to do this, but I'm not going to advocate them to charge me more for it. They're a multi-trillion-dollar company. They're making hand over fist over us. We see the financials. Yeah, maybe it's not as much money as they like, but they're okay. They don't have to do this. As consumers, we should be saying, no, just keep things status quo. And if you do feel like you're putting a game here and there on another platform, and that's what you feel like doing, you are doing it to make money, extra money, and that's it, right? You're not looking at getting rid of consoles. You're not getting rid of the storefront. They're looking at money that they think is left on the table. That it's a corporation. They're going to try and get every single cent that they can. And this is money people making the decisions instead of the people that actually understand this shit, right? And
That's right.
where the heart of the community is, and the people that understand this stuff is, they're feeling emotional about it. They're feeling panicky about it. They're feeling paranoid about it, that now my digital library is not going to exist. Now my console's not going to exist. That's the furthest fucking worst case possible scenario reach that has no reality right now, based on rumors from people in the community, not Xbox or Microsoft themselves. And even those rumors are muddled with confusion, and we don't even know what the actual truth is. So until we actually get some fucking answers, everybody just needs to chill the fuck out and just wait and see what's actually happening, because the community itself and all this chaos that's going on is doing way more damage potentially than any of the moves they might be doing themselves. And it stems from the community of the Xbox creators and the people that are supposed to care about the brand the most that are behind this. And it's absolutely crazy because, and now I'll say that's on Xbox, because they can't allow that to happen, right? You can't build up this community and have all these people that you have kind of propped up in a lot of ways with information and stuff, and then all of a sudden let them run rampant with your messaging, right? Like, so Xbox has got to get that shit straight. This is snowballed out of control for like over a month now, right? So that's on Xbox. But at the end of the day, what is the more damaging thing? Is it the chaos that's been going on because of the community? Or is it the possibility that Hi-Fi Rush is actually on a Switch? Right? Like, there's just way too much stuff going on right now without any answers. And yeah, there's probably truth to it. Like I'm sure there is truth to it. There's way too much smoke.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the exact truth
extent,
is.
the extent of it. Yeah.
We have no idea at all whatsoever. And like, for me, again, I'm looking at it from me as a consumer. Does my experience change regardless of what that is? Not really. Not unless things get so bad that this worst case possible scenario actually happens. But when people are putting this stuff, talking about the storefront and not making hardware, I mean, they already have kickstarted new hardware. There's going to be more consoles and more stuff in the future. We already know this. Secondly, the Microsoft storefront, you're actually thinking that's going to go away? Like that's insanity. That, like, why would they just all of a sudden sabotage the thing that they've been fighting Apple and Google and all these other companies to make sure they get more of a presence in? That has no realm of rational thought to that. Like, they make 30% more for any person that spends money in their storefront. They're just going to throw that away and throw in the towel. They're all of a sudden going to say that 30 something plus million loyal consumers that are going to buy a hardware all of a sudden and spend the more money than anybody else in their entire ecosystem all of a sudden don't matter. They're going to all of a sudden say, we don't want money. We don't want everybody on Xbox that buys Call of Duty microtransactions to spend for them to profit 30% more. No, that doesn't make any damn sense. None of it makes any sense from a business perspective. None of it makes any damn sense from a consumer perspective. And people are jumping into these thoughts because of emotions, because of console wars stuff, because of all of these things. And it just doesn't make any damn sense. So don't jump off a ledge, right? Everybody just relax a little bit. Let's wait and see what the information is. Some of it we may not like, and we'll talk about what that information is that we don't like when we find the answers. But right now, we don't know what the actual answer's in, except a bunch of considerations. Most of these rumors were just considering, right? How many companies consider shit all the time? they are always considering stuff. We don't know what their actual final decisions are. Now, maybe they were leaning to a certain direction. Maybe now they're going to walk some stuff back. Who fucking knows, right? Nobody does except Microsoft themselves and potentially this mole, whoever's spreading this information. But we'll find out, hopefully, with some form of clarity. I don't think we're going to get every answer at this business update event, which is weird. But we're going to get hopefully some answers with this
We'll
thing.
definitely, yeah, 100%. Like, before I get like Web Dave's take on it, I got Drone TJ with the 2. There you go, Sean. You got 2 of the homies in here. TTS players talk that shit. And Boss Fred 77 goes 5 with the 5. Shout out to you, Playboy. He goes, this just in. Phil Spencer leaked the information after the shareholders wanted to put the first party games on the other dog shit platforms. Listen to me. If that's real, shout out to Phil. Phil wants exclusive because what's funny about this? How many times have you heard that Phil wants to put the games everywhere, blah, blah, blah? Phil wants exclusive games. Say if that's real. Let's just say for the sake of it, if that was real. That guy cares about the Xbox ecosystem. He cares about his Xbox gamers. He cares about exclusive. If that's in and he's leaking it, he wants the people to talk about it. And like, Mav, you brought up a great point. What's your concern? Like, Web Dave, you see me putting tweets like tagging Sarti Nadella, Tim Stewart, not being too disrespectful, just being a bit funny, but saying, listen, Xbox matters. But when you go on like complete way left, every single day, every single minute, you know, F Xbox, F this, that's when it gets a bit annoying because people like follow you or know you as an Xbox fan. It's understandable because people get frustrated. It's like, come on, guys, like you voice your concern, so you don't like what's going on if these rumors are 100% legit. Say a couple of times, but when you keep going non-stop and do a 180, that's where a lot of people like kind of push back and say, yo, what's going on here? Like, imagine you, Web Dave, all of a sudden you did a 180, fuck Xbox, F this, F that. They're gonna be like, yo, Web Dave, like, what's wrong with you? Like, talk about it. We're not saying don't talk about what's the problem is, but you doing a complete 180, that's where people have a problem, and I don't blame them because they've been following you for such a long time and you've been talking that shit for a long time because you're an Xbox guy and you prefer platform as Xbox, but all of a sudden you did a 180 and you're talking shit about Xbox and everybody on Xbox, and I think that's where the problem lies, bro. Before I let you continue, the homie Adidas 20 with a 5. Only post I've seen from Microsoft was the AI. Yeah, that's sorted. Who gives a shit about that? That's AI bullshit, bro. But shout out to you, Playboy. Now, Web Dave, first of all, you know I talked about this to you back in the DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking records on Sunday was incredible.
Thank you.
I've said this to Dirt as well. Dirt broke a WBG record as well. But the only reason why I don't like it because it's the negative news about Xbox.
Yeah.
And this is, if I broke a record today, I don't like it because it's negative, and you know the hate is gonna come and clip it and all that bullshit. And if it's a positive news, then yeah, let's break the fucking records. But congrats, over 1,300 people, bro. You had Paris, you had Tim Dog. I know Tim Dog's going. Look, Tim Dog is the homie, bro. Yep. I was in the DMs having battles with that dude against ponies in the DMs, bro. Yep. And I know he's got 180. We'll give Tim let Tim do what he needs to do on that, and I'll talk to Tim and I'll slap him up or something. But you had like Paris, you had Tim Dog, Hoggeet on that.
Yep.
The rumor started with Hi-Fi Rush, then it's all of a sudden piled up. This game is coming, that game is coming. Hearing all of the information that all of a sudden people are pulling like a 180 right now. I've just got a message from one of my sources. He's 100% legit that Xbox might be reversing some of the policies with some of the first party games. Taking all of that information and what happened yesterday, talking about this is it's not as bad as you guys think it's going to be. What's your take on all of that, bro?
Okay, well, first thing I have to say is FARQ. Just kidding. I love FARQ. You didn't think I do it, did you? Did you, buddy? So anyway, but this actually, Sean, your show today, I think is positive. Actually, to be honest with you, I know you're talking that shit, but you're standing your ground, and you're coming at the realization, which is what I started. And I actually, if you watch the episode that I did Sunday with Retro
I
and
did.
everybody.
I did.
That
Yeah.
it was 2 or 3 times throughout the thing. I said, I want to make sure everybody understands that this is rumors we're talking about. It's rumors, and the reason we already had Tim scheduled and we had Mr. Boomstick scheduled, which was fantastic. And then it just happened to, Paris was in chat and he's like, send me an invite. I'm like, well, you got it. And Argate's like, I want on. Okay. So, it's just I tried to keep it at 6, but it was like, it's rumors, folks. It's absolutely rumors. And Mav, his take is absolutely perfect, priceless, and I would frame it, Mav. I'm telling you, man, you are so on point that it is it's awesome, man. I'm really glad you're part of this community, Mav. Just saying, man, because I can't hear you muted.
My bad. No, I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's like kind of you kind of like wish that you could have some kind of influence on people to like
Mhm.
kind of get everybody to calm down a little bit, right?
Yep.
But yeah, there's really no way that to calm down a mob. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we saw this in 2013, and I was like in forums being like, oh, let's see how this is actually going to work and stuff. But like the damage was done, but like it's weird because if you go against what everybody is, just the pitchforks are out and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, it's like, oh, you don't care and all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, I just want the real information. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and that's right now we don't have that yet. So I'm not gonna run around with pitchforks out and like screaming and yelling and like all this kind of stuff about something that really we don't know. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably like I 100% think there's some truth here for sure,
Yeah.
right? Like otherwise Xbox would have said something by now.
Right.
But doesn't mean that every rumor that people are spitting out there is true.
And
You
did you
know?
notice how even as our show went on that night, and then throughout the next day, it just kept a little more like people were throwing more logs on the fire, as it were.
Yeah.
Well, now it's Starfield is going to be is no longer going to be exclusive, and we know this for a fact.
Yeah. Then
And
it's
the-
Gears of War, and then it's
right,
yeah.
exactly. And some of this stuff we could find out. Oh, okay, cool. That happened.
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure now. And then to keep piling on, it's like it's becoming a runaway train to the point to where it's like that seems a little crazy for them to go that far that fast.
Well,
I
to a lot of
mean-
people, they just see these rumors, and then all of a sudden, that's the reality.
That's a reality. Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
'cause
it's not. That's not. We don't. There's no reality yet. Like at all.
Right.
And even if they, even if this did influence changes and like change their direction in the background a little bit, I don't want to think it would have done too much. I think if anything, they would have like changed their messaging or maybe
Yeah.
delayed a couple ideas or kind of like figure out, okay, well, we got to make sure that this is implemented 100% properly because people are fucking flipping out right now, right?
Yep.
But like, whatever the true messaging is or whatever the actual answers are, like, I mean, people are going like Xbox is no longer going to exist right now. It's just like
that's ridiculous.
it's like it's a little bit of a reach, and if that turns out to be true, it'd be the holy shit moment. So wow,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to reach there because of a couple rumors about some third-party games.
Yeah.
Like
You know what pissed me off though is like Reforged Gaming, which I interviewed him.
Yeah.
And but for him he was like, I told you,
I told
it's
you.
coming.
I
I
told you.
my
Yeah.
sources were right. Dude, nobody knows any fucking thing at this point. Right now, it's still all 1000% rumors, speculation, which Mav is actually the king of speculation, and I love that. But this is like and oh my god, it's gotten to be such a runaway, like think about this, man. And Sean, and you just take it back whenever you want to, but the company that spent $69 billion to buy ABK and worked hard on it to keep that dream alive for 2 years, and then they're now a $3 trillion company,
Mhm.
number one in the world as far as revenue, and they're just gonna be like, oh, you know what? We're just gonna switch things around. We're just gonna change. I mean, at some point, you may have to make some changes, some pivots to continue the growth, which I get that, but you just think that they're gonna,
Completely. give up. Like, yeah, let's go.
Exactly. That's crazy. And I do agree. Microsoft, the corporation, has had some bad takes. Even Satya said we shouldn't have got rid of the phone, the Windows phone, and that was his call. But yeah, it's like I just don't see them spending all this kind of money, and then for them to just totally screw the pooch. Now, if it's a bigger play that we don't know about yet, that's like even bigger, because somebody else was, and this is another speculation rumor, which I thought was funny. Well, there's no exclusive games coming from Sony this year that we know of, like other than MLB. There's no exclusives, maybe Phil will come out and say, oh, by the way, we acquired Sony. I don't, that's not happening. But I'm just saying, there could be something else big at play that's making them fall. And some people are saying it's still the regulators and stuff to do with ABK. I really do think that. I think there's some things that they're cleaning up afterwards, but that deal's actually done, and I don't think that they can go back in and break them up because there was no reason for them to break them up anyway. And then if they are playing, like, oh, we're going to play nicer in the big field of things, and that works out that way, cool. But I mean, Phil didn't say this.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
He said it for a reason, because they are doing that for a reason, for exclusives for a reason. They went back in and renegotiated Indiana Jones to make it exclusive, and that came out at trial. So now they're just going to be like, oh, you know what? Screw it. We're going to put it everywhere. It just doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to either one of you guys? I don't know.
Let me get this super. Got an MD with a 5 because being an Xbox fan is exhausting at times, and I understand why Tim did what he did and feels what he feels. Yeah, Tim's been in battles, bro. Like even when I was in the DMs with going against the ponies, bro, we've been some crazy battles, bro. So it is what it is. We got to hold me dead with a 5. I'm not stressing myself out for something that I can't control, especially a rumor. Next week we will find out what's going on, Playboy. Awesome show, fellas. Shout out to you, Playboy. I'm rating David a 2 now. Web Dave, they want to hear you TTS, bro. So you need to read this super chat because you need to talk that shit.
All right, what does it say? To all you motherfuckers out there, you're not a bot. Go fuck yourself. All right, thanks.
Superb. That's the homie Web Dave talking that shit.
Raiden Blade, you're awesome.
No, you 100% right. Like everybody makes great points, and where's the smoke, this fire, but how big of a fire is gonna be? Like it's crazy, like the way it just piled on when you talked about that, Dave. Like Reforge goes, yes, I told you guys Starfield was coming. I told my source was right. Then Forza Horizon came on the board. Then Gears of War came on board. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Now I know some of the homies might be listening on Twitter and said, oh, someone leaked this. 100% it's possible someone leaked this stuff. Like long live the Black Mamba. I'll bring that up in a minute, bro. I got that ready for you because I'm gonna bring something present something for you guys. Let's say Phil, Aaron, or someone, Matt Booty, leaked this information because Tim Stewart, Sartre Nadella, Amy Hood, the money people wanted to put the games in more places because they believe about money. They want to make more money. Why is this IP exclusive for? It doesn't make sense. If this got leaked from the high ups to like the media guys or even the YouTubers and said make a noise, fair plays. If we find that information, fair plays and that. But you guys have talked about it. The way it just piled on and keep going on, people will get pissed off and you like, all right, just shut the fuck up now. You made a point. You're going way, way beyond like to a point where people are saying like you're actually hating on Xbox right now. Or you completely like, for example, got Love for Kids move as well. All of a sudden, I need a PlayStation content graphic designer. His profile is fuck Xbox.
Yeah. I think he's going to regret that. But then again, it may just be showing his true colors.
Your podcast is called Planet Xbox. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Don't make that mistake or like something over like what's going on right now. Once it's confirmed, if all the games next week, guys, you will hear it from me, Web, and Mav. If every single game next week goes, like Phil goes, listen, this is the plan. Starfield will be coming to the PlayStation 6 months later. Indiana Jones, 12 months later. That's when we call these motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
That's when it's confirmed 100%. When it's rumors, what people are hearing behind the scenes. Talk about it on Twitter, tag Phil Spencer, tag Salty Nadella, and what happened? Phil Spencer came out with a tweet. We are listening. Next week, we will address what's going on.
Yep.
Whatever we find out Monday, Tuesday, whatever day that's going to be, we will talk about it then. If it's not good, if it's bad news, talk that shit.
Yep.
Go after them, guys. Talk that
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
If
Sean,
it's just Hi-Fi Rush, for example, right, we don't like it, but if that's the only game you're going to put because it's kind of ready done or something, or you considered it, I'm not sure exactly. Okay, fair plays, but the big hitters like Indiana Jones, yo, we're going to have a problem. Everybody in the chat, Web Dave, Mav, go out there, talk that shit. I'm sure the homies in the chat will have a problem. I will have like a problem. I go for it. They're taking the piss right now. Unless you're getting God of War, you get something back. Unless you're getting something back from your other competitors, then fair play.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a different ball game.
Yeah.
But until that day happens on Monday, like Dave, that's all we can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fall off the ledge. Like Mav, you made a great point. Don't fall off the cliff. Stay there.
People jumping too early right now, man. It's
yeah,
like,
they're jumping too early. That's the best way. Like, go on, Mav. What do you want to say, bro?
yeah. So like, all right. So when let's say that it comes out, right, and every single rumor was true, and every single one of these games that people have mentioned are going to come to PlayStation 6 months or 12 months after they come to Xbox, and we get exclusivity for a period of time. We get them day and date and Game Pass and all that kind of stuff, right? Like I'm going to be of two minds, right? Now, because I'm not really emotional about that kind of stuff. Like I could give a shit else what other people play. All I care about is my experience. But looking at it, because I try to look at things from like an overhead view, looking at it from a business perspective, I would call Xbox weak for that. I would call like Satya Nadella I'll call him a pussy, right? I would call him
about
fucking weak.
competition.
Yeah,
you remember the competition?
Yeah,
part?
he was like, "Let us compete," right? So, did you want to actually compete? Because if every one of these rumors is true, then that's not really trying to do what you can in the console space, right? So I think it would be a bad decision business wise. I'm not going to go to the extreme of saying it's going to kill Xbox and they're no longer going to make hardware and your digital storefronts are going to go away, because there's so much more business wise that doesn't make sense at all, right? But I think there's a lot of room that they would be leaving on the table in that space by making that decision, because there is going to be another generation, right? There is going to be another opportunity. And at this point, when they have that, the stables are going to be fucking full, right? And there ain't nothing that PlayStation or any other platform can do to compete with the amount of stuff that Xbox has. So if you do decide at that point to share everything with other platforms, and I'm not talking about just a couple of games here and there, because they've already been doing that. Let's just be real. They have that kind of already. But I'm talking about like the big games, right? If they do make that move, then at that point, I think it's weak. And I think it's an overhead different structure and idea for Microsoft and moving away from the identity of what they've always been. And it would be a transition for the company. And I think that would be a mistake, because at that point, you're leaving a lot of growth possibility in the console space for the hardcore gamers that spend the most money, right? So business wise, I think it would be a dumbass move. Personally, for me, in my experience, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just being real. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody else plays a game somewhere else, I don't care. I care about my experience. I just want the best games, and I want great games, and I want them day and date and Game Pass, and I want to be able to play my games in the ecosystem that I love, which is Xbox and the console, and I'm going to continue to do that, even if they do this move. Even if they make this move, I'm not going to go fucking burn down my Xbox. I'm not going to do that, because I would be lessening my experience by switching to a PlayStation, by switching
Facts.
to like a Switch. I don't want to play on that all the damn time. You know why? Because it sucks ass. The ecosystem sucks ass. Well, all of a sudden, Xbox doesn't matter. No, fuck, Xbox is still going to matter to me because that's not the reason why I play on Xbox. The reason I play on Xbox is because the ecosystem is better. The diversity of access across everything's better. You get better value. You have better online implementation across the board. You have better multiplayer games. You have all these other benefits that we're still going to get. And I don't want to abandon that just because some motherfucker out there got to play a game on his Switch or his PlayStation 5. Like, hey, cool. Kudos to you, motherfucker. I don't care about you. I care about me. Right. So, no, I'm not going to abandon ship. I'm not going to get emotional about it. But I do think, and I will criticize it, and I will call Satya Nadella a weak-minded little bitch if he does that, because he's not doing what I think is best for the Xbox gamer, and I don't think he's doing what's best for the console and the space. Ultimately, though, I'm still going to play an Xbox. I'm still going to fucking represent Xbox and all that kind of stuff as long as it exists, because that's where I like to play. I have a fucking gaming PC with a 7900 XT in it. I have 6 Xbox consoles in my house. I have a PS5. I have a Switch.
Boo.
And I have a tablet that I play Xbox console streaming on as well, and all this other stuff, right? So, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I understand some people, like, have only one platform they have to make the decision on. And if you decide that you're going to abandon Xbox and buy just a PlayStation, then I would question why you ever were in the Xbox ecosystem in the first place.
Mhm.
I will add something to this, Matt, before I go. Boss Red with a 5. Xbox is shipping first-party games over to the PlayStation along with the Series S and the controller. Only way to play Xbox games. Talk that shit, Boss Red. The Joey Kraken goes, he's pissed off because what bothers him does if Xbox has to share their games, it's only fair if PlayStation and Nintendo start sharing too. That's what's kind of pissing him off, Joey.
Mhm.
Yeah, Joey, I'll get to that point 1 second. And the homie be ahead. Shout out to you, Playboy, with the 2-man. Salute to you. I'll say this now, Mav. If you need to, like, none of us are going live. I'll be honest with you. Xbox is for life, bro. That's the console. That's the ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, why do you play, right? Why have you chosen Xbox, right?
Exactly.
Why were you playing on Xbox One all this
Now,
time?
this is what I'm talking about right now. Like, forget that part, yeah? Whatever happens next week, I'm still going to be an Xbox guy. I'm still going to talk that shit. Xbox podcast. It's there. It is what it is, bro.
Yep.
If you want to grow the ecosystem, the new customers, they're going to look at the Xbox and they're going to see the games are available on the other platforms, which is the popular brand, the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 6, if there is one, for example. They're going to look at the same games that's available under the Xbox ecosystem, or if the IGNs, the GameSpot reports that, don't worry about it, guys. You ain't going to be losing out. PlayStation 6 or the PlayStation 5 will receive Starfield 6 months later. And that's a game that people might want to play because they might be new to the ecosystem. There's brand new gamers coming up. They might like ZeniMax games. They might like the ABK games. They might like Double Fine games. But if they find out from the media guys, when they look at IGN or just the news example, they see games like, no, this game is coming to the PlayStation. Or wait a minute. Xbox games go to the PlayStation 6 months later, but PlayStation games don't go to the Xbox ecosystem. You know what? I might just get a PlayStation. This is my first console. I'll go with the PlayStation. I can wait 6 months to play Indiana Jones. That's where I see the problem. If you want to build that ecosystem up, get the new gamers now. We'll make this a topic as well. We've been hearing that Xbox is going to be dropping a new console next gen in 2026, along with a kind of like a hybrid Switch type kind of console.
Yep, that's a
and
rumor.
if you listen to C Money as well, Cognito talked about there's one more hardware, a powerful one apparently. Like there's going to be 3 SKUs. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. When you're trying to bring the new people in, let's say they do a Switch handle style in 2026 along with the Series X. You want to bring new gamers in, and the only way you're gonna bring new gamers in is if they see there's like a value proposition for that platform where Indiana Jones, Blade, let's put Blade out there for 2026. Blade is only available on the Xbox platform or PC if you got a PC. But I'm a console gamer. I'm coming into this generation. I'm a new gamer. Blade, I want to play Blade. How can I play that game? Either get a handheld, like Xbox handheld, or the Series X, or play on PC. But if you don't need that, if you find out that Blade is coming to the PlayStation 5 6 months down the line, it doesn't give that incentive to like get into the ecosystem if you're a brand new gamer. For us guys, we're in the ecosystem, but I'm talking about building the future for the next gen. That's Web Dave. Do you understand where I'm coming from, bro?
Oh yes, 1000%. It's they have to. Well, look, Mav alluded to this earlier.
So if this is about competition, let us have competition.
And that is exactly, he stood his ground on that. That they really wanted to, to be able to compete. Well, you compete with exclusives, you compete with the ecosystem and growing your platform over the other. And that's the way it has been. That's the way it will be. There is some give and take on certain things. I get that. And like they said, there'll be certain case by case basis. Didn't mean everything out the door. It meant if something is already on a platform, they're not going to pull it. So if like the Elder Scrolls Online, it was already on PlayStation, well, they're going to continue to grow that. Same way with Minecraft and other things. They're going to continue to grow those because they're making money. Call of Duty, I mean, love it or hate it, I think it's great. Now there's another rumor that they're not going to put Call of Duty in Game Pass. I'm calling bullshit. I'm just telling you. But we'll see. Well, like I said, we'll find out hopefully Monday more and more as they hopefully clean this mess up. And it's not a lot of people are saying it's of their own doing. I don't necessarily think it's 100% of their own doing. I think it's, and the thing about it could be, but I doubt it, that somebody in management would be like, let's leak this out so we can stop them from making these changes. I just don't see that happening. I mean, I don't know, but we'll find out. That's the thing. A rumor, big rumor thing. I tell you, if all this stuff does come true, the only sign of the apocalypse is if Sean and Dirt change their show to We Bleed Blue, then we're in trouble. Or if the Dirt Griggity goes from the one man Dark Man to joining the Blue Man group, then we're going to be in trouble. Other than that, I'm thinking everything's going to be okay, folks. Just remember, Sean is all knowing and all seeing. Trust in Sean. And Mav, the king of speculation, he knows where speculation is the truth. I'm just telling you. These guys, they've been around a long time, man. And I feel like it's rumors. Remember, rumors are rumors until they're not.
Yeah. Now, before I let you go, let me get a super chat because I want to present you with something.
Yeah.
Long live the Black Mamba with a 2. Like I said on WBG, Sony and the FTC are plotting some shit. Who knows, bro? Now let me pull this up 1 second. Let me see if this works on this. There we go. I'm sure you guys have seen this image before. Do you remember this image? I don't know if this was the leaked documents or
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's about what kind of games they see as like having a value as exclusives and which ones they don't, right?
Do you think they're gonna stick to this plan though, or like it's a bit difficult with like what they see value to the ecosystem? Starfield, Redfall. Obviously, Redfall didn't turn out like with the high scores and all that, but Starfield sold well.
Yeah,
good scores. People loved it. Like, if this what they were talking about, certain games bring value proposition to the platform. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to these new rumors, Starfield's coming, this is coming. What's changed if these are the plans that got leaked? Like, I just don't get it. Like, what's going on exactly? Like, what's changed? Do you know what I mean? In the last 90 days or something, or a year? I don't get it. Did I?
That's why we got to like again. It's hard to know until we actually get the real information because, like, considering things doesn't mean doing things, right? And even then, it's just a rumor about something. So companies consider things all the time. We've seen in the leaked documents some crazy shit that Xbox has considered before, right? But they haven't pulled the trigger on. I mean, they've considered doing a lot of things. They considered shutting down Xbox back in last generation at one point. Instead they went and doubled down and ended up buying a bunch of studios and implementing Game Pass and doing all this other stuff. So considering means a lot of different things, and we don't know exactly what they're going to do. I think the jumping off point for a lot of people is like when they see that word, how could they even dare consider that? You know what I mean? And I get it because I think it's a dumb decision, but you got to realize there's a lot of different kinds of idiots that are in these board meetings and stuff like that that don't understand the actual console
Facts.
space. You have money people, then you have, the actual Xbox like people that understand the community, understand the business more than the people that just look at the dollars and cents, right? And right now, maybe the dollars and cents people have more power because of the position that Xbox has taken up with the company. I mean, they even put
That's right.
Windows under Xbox and stuff, right?
That's right.
So there's more discussion and maybe there's more pressure and all these kind of things for them to make some dumbass moves, right? And that's what we don't know. But it doesn't necessarily mean that every single one of these rumors is going to come true either. So when you look at the chart at kind of said, well, let's look at what is a value to it as an exclusive because they're having to explain this to idiots in the FTC and
Yeah,
regulators across the board about
that's what it is.
what the business, right? So in that there's exclusivity, right? Now, even within there, do they consider exclusivity as a timed thing, right? Like it's a possibility because they're still timed exclusives at that point, so they could be stretching that definition for the money guys. But then I also look at okay, maybe that they are seeing certain games that they feel like they're leaving money on the table for all these other things. It's just money people wanting as much money as possible because it's a fucking $3 trillion corporation, and that's what the business is all about is fucking money,
Yeah,
right? Like, so what we have to hope for is the people that understand the business went out on these conversations. Now, maybe the noise of the community has proved some of that over, right? Maybe that's why if there is a mole that they've been putting this information out there to kind of prove a point, right? But
that's good though. That's fine.
yeah, that's completely fine as long as the damage isn't done from that to where they never had the chance to deliver a message properly and what let's say that the decisions were made in-house before any of this, right? Where it was some kind of like slight compromise. You know what I mean? Or like, okay, we're gonna do this and we'll see if people are okay with it or whatever. But now it's like snowballed into this massive thing, right? To where you have a community like abandoning ship and like biggest hardcore Xbox fans just like no longer fans now, and people selling Xboxes and people saying that Xbox is no longer going to be relevant, all this other stuff based on nothing, right? Because we haven't had any information yet. At that point, then the community itself, which Xbox has built up, becomes a problem, right? It becomes a problem to where it's actually causing the detriment to the business. Xbox's fault for not putting that messaging out and controlling that in the first place, but we don't know anything. So until they actually give us the information, we don't know. We can look at this. We can look at this and speculate, obviously, on the decisions and what it's going to mean and what's good and what's bad. But ultimately, when we look at that chart, it gives us certain examples, right? And Hi-Fi Rush would fit within the example on the left, right?
That's what it is. Yes.
So it would fit with the example on the left where they see it as less value to be exclusive, right? Then you could look at games of service as well, which is on the right? Which you could put like games like Sea of Thieves and some other games in that category as well, right? The question is about the other games, the big games, right? For me, it's about the like Indiana Jones, the Avoweds, the Hellblade 2s, the Blades, and all those kind of things. What is their decision and all that? Because with all of that stuff, if like you're right, we're talking about it, that's why I said it's a bad business decision if they do that. It has an impact on new customers and casuals, and also existing Xbox customers, as we've seen, thinking that the brand has lesser value, right? So that's why I think it'd be a mistake. But again, we have to wait and see because right now, the only big games that we've seen as rumors have come from different sources,
That's right.
and they've all just used the word considering, right? except for Starfield, where they said that it's potentially coming this year after a Shattered Dimensions, right? And that one, that would shock me. Now, if they do that, I think it's a mistake.
That's an L. That's an L.
Yeah, that's a huge. It'd be again bad business decision, and we'll have a discussion about why the hell are you doing that, and you're making these mistakes, Xbox. Why you keep stepping on rakes, all these other kind of damn things, right? But again, we're not there yet. You know what I mean? We're not there yet until they actually announce this and tell us this information. And when they do, then we can have the discussion and be like, yeah, that was a bad business decision. I'm not going to go sell my Xbox over it. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, it's just, it'd be a bad, dumb decision that I feel like would hurt the brand a little bit in the future. But I'm still going to keep playing and I'm going to be happy, you know, like, so it's interesting because Xbox has let this linger because I think they're trying to get it right while they plan this out after they've seen the reactions and stuff. But by doing so, by waiting, things have gotten to a chaotic point to where the damage that could have been done that they were afraid of
Yeah.
if they made this announcement has already happened. So
Yep.
I don't know. I was at this point, what they may look at it and be like, well, shit. The damage was already done, so let's just do it anyway. Like who knows?
Pull the
man?
Band-Aid off.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like
I
before we
don't know.
get your the final take on it, let me just close it up. Mandingo with the 5. This is straight up ete brute bullshit. You too? I think that's what it means that you did this to me as well. Xbox has me up Xbox has me up in the night watch with a line ponies shanking me one by one at a time for the watch. Yeah, that was funny. That article with Boom, like someone said he couldn't sleep or some shit. I'll say
Yeah,
this
he said-
before we close it out,
like-
guys. Yeah, that's funny, but listen, regardless, people can laugh at that, make fun of that. Web Dave, Mav, Sean786, Boomstick, Dirk Griggity. We are Xbox podcasters. More. That's what we lean on. Boom does 4 to 5 shows a week. That's his work.
Yeah.
Xbox completely does a 180, put the games here, leaves the hardware business. That's going to affect his channel and that nice small bonus he gets whilst he's working from you guys in the chat, from the YouTube revenue and the super chats and the memberships. It's a nice bonus. It's a nice bonus because he's retired. Relies on that. I'm sure Boom's is more concerned about that than games going to the other platform because that's his platform. That's his work. So I know people make fun. Oh, he's not sleeping on night, all this stuff, but that's his work. And do you know what I mean? He's put a lot of effort into that channel. Same as you guys as well, bro. We put effort into the channel. We build the channel up, and all of a sudden this happens. This could affect the channel later down the line, and it's a shame though. But
I mean, Boom's such a good guy. Like he's such a passionate person. I think his like first priority is actually what he thinks is best for gaming and like the gamers over like even like his own work. But yeah, he puts a lot of work into it, and it could be damaging to certain things. Like if all of a sudden nobody gives a shit about Xbox anymore, like all these Xbox podcasts and stuff. But like for me, I feel like the industry is always changing, right? And when I started my channel, like I chose the name Fun Speculation because we have Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Obviously, it's a part of it. But knowing that things are not always going to stay the same, and I like to keep things open ended because that doesn't mean I'm going to go a PlayStation Ultimate Podcast if this happens or anything like that. But let's say that the future 10 years from now, like hopefully we can still keep doing our content. But who knows what the primary way people are going to be playing games are. Like Steam could take over the entire space. Steam could have boxes where they have a box for the TV and in a handheld that's dockable, and you can play Xbox games on it, PlayStation games, and every PC game as well. And they could be more powerful than the consoles that are out there. Like we don't know what the future holds, right? Now, I think Xbox is always looking way ahead to the future. They're like sometimes like 6 years ahead of sometimes where they should be because they like to do things a little early, and this is probably part of that. They're kind of looking at the future, and like 10 years from now, where there's no consoles, and making steps now to potentially kind of getting into that territory, and so that way they're set for it. But ultimately, we 10 years from now, if that happens, then maybe none of these Xbox podcasts are going to really necessarily matter as much anymore, and it's more just about the games, you know. So we don't know, man. It's like I play fucking video games. I like to play on an Xbox console, and I like to talk about games. And so if later on there's no more Xbox or whatever, I'll just change the name to fucking something else for Xbox Ultimate. I don't really care, but I'm still gonna be talking about games about whatever I'm playing on. And I think that like the tying yourself so much to a brand is good because you know you find that audience that is passionate and all that kind of stuff, right? But like there's no guarantee about the future of anything,
Facts.
you know. So when we're like, and it's no disrespect to Tim Dog or like anything going on with him right now, but like you see, like his identity about everything with Twitter for so long has been tied to Xbox and preaching that Xbox name, and all of a sudden, and right now he feels betrayed, right? And so it's like, you know, I'm not a fan anymore, and all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, who is this person? You know what I mean? And it's like,
And that's where you get a backlash. It happens because
right,
people are following you because you're known for being the Xbox guy on Twitter, that brand and talking that shit. Like, you know, so I'm not surprised a lot of people that follow him see these tweets like, what's happened to Tim Dog? Like, they might not know what happened in the Spaces or on Web Dave Show. Just people on Twitter, because he's got what, like 50,000 or 100,000 people following him.
yeah,
They'd be like, what's happened here? Like, what's wrong with this dude? Has he been hacked? People might think,
mhm.
has he been hacked? So it's a difficult one, bro. And
Yeah, but I
I
think
feel like,
like Boom, like
yeah,
and you, Sean, and Dirt, like ultimately, I feel like the communities like more so watch because they like you as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And your style and what you're saying and what you represent and how you deliver. And like if things change in the future, it's gonna change for everybody. You know what I mean? So like whatever that new future is, everybody's just going to transition into it. And I would think the audiences would also transition into whatever that is as well. So, like, the whole identity thing is like interesting when you talk about podcasts and all this kind of stuff. But people are going to show up for you. People are going to show up for your show, Dave and Retri, because y'all have an awesome
Yeah.
show. Like, people are going to
Thanks,
show up
man.
for Boom and all this kind of stuff because the audiences that are there, I feel like have been built on the personalities and the way that the shows have been delivered because there's a shit ton of podcasts out there, right? How many fucking
Oh,
Xbox podcasts and all this? There's some that have been
Mav,
around for like 8 years that have like 5 viewers a show, right? So like it doesn't necessarily matter about just being all in on something. It matters about you doing quality shit, and you guys do that. So
yeah, we'll close it out now, bro. Like, anything you want to say? Because I know you do this show on Sunday. Friday, we got shows. You, me, Barbers, we got shows as well. But, like, what do you expect on Monday? Like, what do you like? Mav, I'll ask you the same question. What do you want to hear after all of these rumors coming here? People are saying there's been a 180 right now. It's not as bad as you guys thinking it's gonna be. As an Xbox fan, what is the message that needs to be delivered on Monday by Phil Spencer and the team for the future of Xbox?
Well, I think they need to be clear and precise exactly where they stand and what their expectation is for the near future. I'm not talking about 20 years from now. I'm talking about now and the rest of this generation, not even leading up to the next one. But they need to be extremely clear. And if there is some rumors that aren't true and they know they're not true, say, for example, Starfield is staying in exclusive and it's not going other places, they need to say Starfield is exclusive on the Xbox ecosystem or where Game Pass is found. That kind of thing. They need to be clear on that. That's something that we need to hear. Not just hey, we're maybe doing some name changes and here's maybe some new things we're doing with Game Pass. Because we heard all kinds of rumors. Rumors were rampant, so
The
crazy
Xbox
rampant.
name,
And
the Xbox name is dropping like.
yeah, well, I mean, now his official title is head of Xbox or head of Microsoft Gaming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Who
Thought it
knows?
was
Who
you know,
knows?
thought it was very interesting when they made that name when they put him in that
Yep.
position.
yeah. So you know, so that's kind of the little spark that's like, But you know what? I mean, I'm okay with that as long as they still put out an Xbox. And from what other
Yeah.
people are saying, they still are. And he still said that they're going to. They make money and there's loyalty to the Xbox brand. I believe that that's, you know, I believe that that's still a thing. I'm just saying. But I want them to be clear, crystal clear as to what, you know, as to what they're going to be doing. That's what we all need to hear. And then of course there's probably going to be people that'll come out after. Yeah, but he wouldn't say no. I want it to be to where there's no wiggle room. I want it to be as clear and precise as he can be about what's going on, not just some little press release drop. If he's going to talk to us, he needs to talk to us. I don't know if it's him. It'd be great if he had him, Satya, um, everybody that's important to it, Sarabon, all the people together talking at one time. That would be cool. That would be better, like a little mini roundtable just talking about that.
That's what I want. They did say it's gonna be like a small event or something. So I'm not sure what the scale of that's gonna be. If it is a round table, we need to hear from all of them really. Because you're right, Dave. Like we got to hear from the main man to the money man to the money woman to Phil Spencer, the CEO, even Matt Booty or Sarah Bond, the president of Xbox
Yes.
and the gaming the studios as well. So we see how that plays out.
Yeah, like what the fuck is a business update event?
Yeah.
You know, I've never heard that term used before to
You know what it is?
address
I'll be honest with
gamers,
you.
know?
Like, I think there's going to be changes, but I don't know what extent of change. Like, what extent is going to take? Like, what's going to happen exactly? Because when they say a business update, is it possible they might be changing the name or? See, we don't know. This is the problem. One saying this, one saying that, one, and this is why I'm happy that Phil has come out and said we'll give you an update. That's it, and that's all we can do. We can wait. We can only speculate. Talk about others. We podcast. We talk about certain rumors. We speculate. Give a take on what might happen or might not happen. Monday is a day where we find out what's going to happen, and I really hope whenever the round table happens, if it's Monday, Tuesday, whatever time, if I'm free, I'll probably go live. I'm sure anybody who's free will just go live and talk about the breaking news. But I'm just hoping. Now, Mav, I'll let you finish off at the end. Be clear. Let us know what is the crack with Xbox. If you're changing the name, if the games are coming, let the people know that's been rocking that with you for 20 plus years. Let them know. Let the new gamers know as well. The future gamers that are coming into the ecosystem. Let them know as well what's going on. Because when you have a clear message, people will have more respect for you then. Regardless if us guys don't like it, people said, you know what? They were clear. They told us straight up. You have a choice: PC or leave your ecosystem. If you are going to leave your ecosystem, go ahead. And that's what people will want. I think that's what people will want to know. What's going on? What about you, Mav?
Yeah, I think so I think I'm curious exactly what the format's going to be. Like I don't know if it's going to be like a pre-recorded video and like you have Phil Spencer talking, then you have Sarah Bond talking, then maybe you have like somebody else from Microsoft like Satya Nadella talking or whatever. I don't know exactly what the format's going to be. Or maybe there's a little roundtable sit down where there's an interviewer asking questions to the people, right, about the future of Xbox and stuff like that. There's going to be probably one of those two. Don't know exactly what, but it'll probably be pre-recorded because they will want to go and make sure that
No slip up.
nothing. Yeah, exactly. No slip ups or anything like that, right? So that's what I'm expecting. So when they do this, now we have to realize that these companies never operate in ultimatums. They never operate in saying something is never going to happen, right? Because that's just not how they do, right? We learned that and we made that case about when people were asking them to make Call of Duty on PlayStation perpetually forever, right? It's like they're never going to agree to that. Like they're never going to say that we will never put these games on another platform. So they're not going to use wordage like that. So I think what they need to do right now is show up and they need to say there's been a lot of rumors online. We've seen you, we hear you. We can tell you that that um this we have no plans to put this anywhere else right now. We have no plans to do this. That's the kind of language they usually use, right? Corporate speak. We have no plans to do this, no current plans to do that, whatever. Will that appease everybody? No, because they'll be like, oh, but you're not saying forever, they're never going to say no,
Yeah.
So they'll probably say we have no plans to do this or whatever, or they'll say to give us the reason why they are doing it, right? If they are, and if they are, they need to give people a clear reason why. Okay. Secondly, the fundamental issue that I keep seeing from everybody in the community comes down to faith in the digital storefront, your digital library, and hardware, right? So if they address that, that would erase the number one issue that everybody keeps bringing up with this. If they say, we have consoles, the next generation Xbox is in development, right? The digital storefront is going to be there. We have a multifaceted ecosystem that's going to keep growing, and there's going to be more devices for you to play on from Microsoft hardware than ever before, or whatever than that in the future. They have to address the ecosystem and give people that are paranoid and freaking out about their libraries going away and hardware going away faith that that's always going to continue, right? No matter what, even if Xbox hardware sells less, right?
Yep.
Even if their decisions cause them to be less relevant hardware wise in the marketplace, right? They need to ensure everybody that wants to invest in the ecosystem that they will always have a place to play. How they address that, I don't know, but that's at the core. The most important part is faith in the storefront, because you don't want people all of a sudden not spending money on third-party games and on other games in your ecosystem because they have no faith it's going to exist in the future, right?
Yeah.
And that's what people are afraid of. Console gamers that prefer to play on console want to be assured that they will be able to have an Xbox console where they can access that library in the future. So if they address that and somehow very concretely, that's the number one thing that they need to do. But how can they do that? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'll be watching.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think you see a lot. Either people are gonna get called out for, you were full of shit for talking about this rumor, or
dude,
it's
it's gonna be a lot of that.
It's a double-edged sword. I'll
no
be
matter
honest with
what,
you,
unless there's a huge celebration because they unless there's a huge celebration because they announced some crazy shit that everybody's excited about, right? There is going to be a massive fucking fallout from this, regardless.
Yeah.
Right? Like, regardless.
It's gonna happen.
From the people that are claiming, oh, see, we enacted change because we leaked all this stuff when they then didn't announce it. They're going to be all defending themselves, right? Or you're going to see, if it's bad, you're going to see the ultimate fallout from the community, and you're going to see this mass, like, fuck this, I'm out, like, from a lot of people. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
I hope that all the rumors were fake, so everybody can just smile and be happy and, move on, but we'll see.
Yeah. But anyway, let's close it out, man. Like, sorry, Dave, do you want to say something before?
I was just going to say, I think this is probably a great time for me, Mav, and Sean to announce that we are having a special. We're going to have a new show called Steam, and oh no, bad timing.
We'll keep it. That's the future plan. We'll keep ourselves backed up.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to release that yet. Just kidding, guys.
This in our pocket, just in case we got to pivot.
Pivot. Yeah. I'm kidding.
We bleed Steam.
Exactly.
Yo, imagine that shit with the TTS Steam podcast. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
But anyway, my love, Dave, where can people catch you, bro? Man, obviously last week was crazy. Sunday was insane for you guys. and let's hopefully it continues to be insane. The growth has been great. You guys you and Retri do a great job.
Thank you
And
so
hopefully
much.
me and Dirt will be back on sometime like in the next
Dude, we'd love to have you guys back on. You guys are always welcome as a group. And I tell you, and I'm just gonna call him out since he's here right now. I would love to have PM in the PM on again. I'm just saying that would be great to have both of you guys on some night on a Sunday night. Well, you know, it's in the future for sure. But and all right, so we did Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, but Retri's like, we are not doing the Super Bowl, so we're gonna take a break. It's Sunday because it's the Super Bowl. It's Sunday, this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, starts at 5:30, I think, is kickoff. So yeah, so there you go. So we will not be doing a show this Sunday, but after that we'll be back to our regular programming, and I've got some few interviews and stuff in the can. Sean, thank you so much for reaching out and let me jump on with you today. And then, of course, Mav, you are the legend, man. I love everything you do. The Mav rants, the Mav cast, badass, dude. Keep them up.
I appreciate you, Dave.
Definitely. Like, Web, just stay on for a minute. Mav, what about you, bro, man? What's the plan for this week? Because I know you do a million shows, bro.
We got four, but yeah, Fun Pop's been on the hiatus for a while, so you know it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that show because Jasper is leaving because he's gonna be.
I heard about that
job,
the job, yeah.
So we'll have to see future plans for Fun Pop. So, but until then, every Monday we got FSP. That's too late for you, Sean, but it's at 10 p.m. Eastern time for everybody else that can't catch it. And then Thursdays we got PM in the PM with Pong Soul and I at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then Fridays we got Xbox Ultimate Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And I hope we can have Xbox Ultimate Podcast forever, man. But we'll see what happens next week.
It'll be fine, bro, man. You know what? Definitely, one day I'm definitely gonna jump on that show, even though it's like 4. It'll be 4 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m.
have to get up early.
If I wake up for a pistol, if I wake up for a pistol someday, I see Mav on, I'll just hit you up and say, "Let me jump on, bro."
Yeah, we have a blast because things go left and crazy on that show, dude. Like it just like I don't know why. I think it's because it's late on a Friday night, but usually about like halfway through the show, things just start going off the rails, man. So like, I would love to have you, dude, because you would have a blast, I think, on that one.
100%. And you know who's having a blast? It's the one and only Kid Smooth. Check this shit out. We out.
Xbox. Game Pass. Got it on my PC and my Xbox. Game Pass. Keep adding games to my backlog. They say it got no games, man. Don't know what they saying. I just think they hating. Stuck on that PlayStation. Game Pass. Got it on my PC and my Xbox. It has 300 plus for only $15. Bug stacks, Hades, even Among Us. 120 frames on that psycho nuts. Got games, niche games like Cluster Truck. Game Pass. Got it on my PC and my Xbox. Game Pass. Keep adding games to my backlog. They say it got no games, man. Don't know what they saying. I just think they hating. Stuck on that PlayStation. Game Pass. Got it on my PC and my Xbox.